If you don't really like me because you can't be me, then my job is to make it better and better looking for you, boy. Because you probably at the club and I'm probably at the arena at your hometown. I'm probably selling 21,000 tickets where you live. You probably at the club still. You probably is barking outside of your lane.
Yo, peace. Welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
You know what it is? Kazim Famiwide. You could call me Kaz.
You know what I'm saying? And it's your boy, I'm back. It's the Kid Mero, baby, the Human Durag Flap. We in the building. This is a Wave Sports and Entertainment Originals presented by FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Listen, man, these guests that we are getting, there's guests. You know what I mean? There's invited people that you come through and you have a good time, you have a good conversation. And then there's the guest. You know what I'm saying? Today, we got one of those guys.
Yes.
The capital THE guest. Y'all know him as comedian extraordinaire, of course. You know what I'm saying? He's done multiple specials, multiple tours, arenas. You've seen him on TV, silver screen, small screen, digital screen, everywhere. He's a legend in the game. He's the GOAT.
Yeah,
it
man.
is Katt Williams, ladies and gentlemen, in the building. Here with us in the hook. Brooklyn, we're here, baby.
Yes,
Katt, what's good, man?
Welcome to the hook,
baby. Welcome to Brooklyn.
Thank you so much. I
The
appreciate
energy
it.
changes when you walk in the room,
It's
man.
magnificent in Brooklyn.
Instantly.
That's me to go up, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel that way as well. Yeah. Great vibe here.
Kat, it's going to be a good one. You know, we love to begin every episode with something we call the connect, right? Obviously, yourself, Carmelo, has some history. You know what I mean? We like to have the guests talk about the first time they either met Melo or the first time you crossed paths or anything like that. So what was the first time, you know, linking with the Hall of Famer,
Right.
number 7?
What was it like, Melo? Tell him.
I mean, we've been in a couple rooms. We've been in a couple areas, a couple environments together. I think at the time, you got to think about the time period. You know, we talking about mid-2000s,
Okay.
03, 04, 05, 06, where hip-hop was at, where the culture was at.
Yes.
It was very intertwined at that point in time, right? So it was very rare that you just saw this athlete over here, just a comedians over here, rappers. No, you saw rappers, comedian, athletes all intertwined. So we talking about New York City, we talk about Atlanta, we talk, you know, we use DC, like we talking about really on the road, and we just kept crossing paths. It wasn't like we just sat down and just chopped it up, but we really was just crossing paths.
Yeah.
And I think that energy that I had and I was moving with at that point in time, and the energy that Katt was moving with and where he was at in the game, and that's who we was actually relating to us from a comedic standpoint. So you gravitated to that, and then you saw him. He's around. You could talk to him. He's approachable. He's funny as shit. He's outside after the club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he wasn't your regular comedian around that time. So that was kind of my connection with him.
Thank you, Melo. That was magnificent. See, yeah, that's really the way it was, just because I'm such a basketball fan, and the basketball players that I know them so well. So like I met Shaq when I was 16, you know what I mean? And the first time that I met him, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar answered his door. So it's like two basketball legends. I met Larry Johnson when I'm the same age. So I've always appreciated the fact that these superhuman characters that perform for us in the basketball arena also have to navigate a real life. And we recognize greatness in the basketball world on and off the court. And Melo was always one of those top tier guys. So
making that parallel, bro, y'all both are kind of like in y'all respective fields, kind of like man of the people types, right?
Yeah.
Where people fuck with y'all, you know what I mean? Like the people, right? Like the culture. You know, people like to call it the culture, but it's really the people outside in the street. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck with y'all and place y'all in like a very high esteem where like, you know, certain like outlets or certain media might not. You know what I mean? Like, why do you think that is? Is it just because it's like, yo, you just real all the time? It's like no bullshit and people see that and respect that?
We have certain requirements for our representation. So if we're going to fuck with somebody, it's certain things there's a way we will hope they would carry it. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Melo always hit all of those boxes. As a basketball player, you didn't want somebody that was always doing too much. But you certainly couldn't tolerate somebody who was never doing nothing. And Melo showed you, you see what I'm saying? At each point where a fan base requires you to make certain moves or decisions based upon what it is you represent, we always recognize the people that do that the best. And that translates, you know, that make you a Hall of Famer in multiple lanes. You know, it makes a difference. Like,
That's a fact.
When you say you're a basketball fan, like what drew you to the game? Like what was your initial, you know what I mean? Like, all right, like I'm locking in on this. Like this is my sport. This is my favorite sport.
All of my sports, I just require it to present me with an opportunity where I can do better than you might imagine, right? So basketball is a game that was designed to teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, that you could have 5 people together. If they were all on one accord, they could move like one machine and do this goal, right? And that's how it was designed. In basketball, I'm 5'5", so there's a whole realm of basketball I can't experience. I don't have any above the rim experience. On the other hand, I'm not Angel Reese. I'm 99% on my layups because I can't afford to miss a layup. My layup is my dunk. You understand me? Right. So I don't care if the defender is 7'9". The taller and bigger he is, the more he cannot keep up with these first 3 steps I'm finna hit him with. So I don't have to focus on him. I have to focus on the next defender. Like, there are times when it looks like I have an easy layup, but that pass is supposed to be that outlet pass. You're supposed to delegate. See, these laws of basketball translate into business, into life, into, you know, the trust that you have, that you need your point guard to do point guard shit, and you need your center to do, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
The relationships. And so, yeah, I appreciate that about basketball.
You know, in addition to that, we spoke on it earlier, but I feel like yourself, Carmelo, and, you know, Meryl spoke on you guys being people's champions, but you guys also occupy a space within the culture that I don't think a lot of people sort of get to, right? Like a lot of people either have sort of great moments or flame out. And, you know, I think there's been a level of consistency with yourself, whether it's television, music, movie, stand-up, Melo in his career. But within all of that, it's the way people talk about y'all outside of what you do that I think connects y'all the most.
That's
right?
the most important thing.
Yeah, it's like as men, as people, like you can enjoy what somebody does as an entertainer or as an athlete, but you have a different level of appreciation for them when you get to know them as men. And I think that's the same sort of like ecosystem y'all both sort of like occupy. So like that connect when y'all first met in like the mid 2000s, where and I'm just remembering what's happening, like tall tees and
I never wore a tall tee.
I think you could
Throwback jersey.
I thought medium was too tall.
but you understand what I'm saying? It's like there's a certain level of authenticity that the people that swear by both of y'all.
Not a certain level. It has to be complete.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's not pretending like you don't fuck up. It's the fact that you don't lie, whether it's good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Regardless of how people may react or feel about it or any of that.
Yep.
Yeah. Commitment.
And also, people we like to see people go through shit to see how they gonna come out the shit.
Mm.
Because you picked a winner,
Right.
You picked a winner. So I feel badly for those that have aligned themselves with losers. It's a terrible position, but it's free to switch that.
At any time.
At any point. At any point, you can just go with a real winner.
Just take the loser setting off. Man, you be good.
Yeah. But it's people want to connect. People want to be able to say, man, he or she been through what I've been through or going through what I'm going through. We a mirror, you know what I mean? We also insight to how people, the everyday person, could actually look at somebody and be like, nah, you know what? I don't want to do that. Based on what we stand on and how we persevere through all of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Because if we go through this shit and we fold, then we ain't inspiring nobody. We actually motivating people to fold. If he did it and it's cool, then shit, I'm a fold too. I don't have to put forth as that much effort.
Right.
But if they see us go through the fire and still come through it and persevere through it and still stand strong and still remain or keep our integrity intact and our character intact, right? No matter what anybody say, our character is intact. And when you have good character and you stand on what you stand on, right, wrong, or indifferent, people could relate to that. And they have an opportunity to see it, the longevity in that. We talking about he's 3 decades in this industry.
Yeah.
I'm 2 decades into this industry.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get a chance to see the movie throughout, and you still get opportunity to design your ending, that's what people can relate to. And that's why I feel like Katt is in that same situation.
In the driver's seat.
You got to be in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
We done paid the bus, the coins and shit. We done did that.
Yeah, niggas done did that. Inside the back and shit.
We done did the
graffiti on the window.
and all that shit. We done did all of that.
Right.
Now we here get to talk about it in the godly fashion.
Right. So Melo, obviously a Hall of Fame athlete. You obviously, Katt, got some athletic exploits. You've been viral before viral was a thing. You know what I'm saying? Just out here.
Correct.
This 40-yard dash, though, is one of the first, most recent
It's legit
situations where you was like, yo, I really do this shit.
Okay, so here's
He's hauling ass though.
no, sir. So I just,
So I'll say this.
I just ran a 4.4. So even if you just go to the beginning at it and pause. So here's the problem. I never wore cleats before. So this was my first time running in cleats.
That's different.
And running on
That's turf or grass. That's turf or grass.
Right.
Very
that's
different.
Turf.
It's definitely different, for sure.
No, my knees should never be that high because I dig in when I run because I'm 5'5", you see?
Right.
But matter of fact, the beauty of me is I don't have to just have the conversation. Like we can go right in the parking lot, and in these pants and shoes, I can really show you the 4.4. That's the difference.
Like we should.
You know what I'm saying?
So no, this is what I tell you. This is what I tell you.
You only know that if you gonna challenge him.
I don't need a
You just gonna do the
challenger.
4-4.
Yo, listen.
If somebody was dumb enough to line against me, that's fine. But I'm saying,
I see the shit. I see
we might
the
as well
footage.
just do it.
And this is what I tell
And
you.
I loved it because you back
Back
the
it
talk
up.
up.
Yeah.
Like, niggas talk about they running 4.4, 4.5. Niggas
me
ain't
see
running
it.
that out here.
They talking about once in their life. I'm talking about every day, 5 times a day. I'm ready to race. Like I'm.
You was that kid in the neighborhood? Like I'll beat anybody in the race.
When I'm in Los Angeles at the Lakewood Hop doing comedy there and at the Hollywood Park Casino, part of our festivities is after the show, I race any comers. Race after, I'm doing 11 races a night.
Yo,
Like,
Katt, stop it.
I'm
I was about to
legendary.
say,
Understand that.
Yo.
Understand, I don't. Not only don't I lie, I don't have the reasons for it.
Nah, I hear
You
you.
know what
I'm
I'm
with
saying?
you.
11 races a night is that's
Our
impressive.
even when like understand, I'm never in shorts or in the shoes I'm supposed to be in or ready for the situation.
You coming fresh off stage.
Like we doing this in streets. Like I'm doing this in dress shoes. Like
That's
no. I'm saying it's the only reason we would be having the conversation. Why?
You
Yeah.
got the shoes in the trunk, like the
I don't
running shoes.
need shoes.
You just
I don't need shoes.
And whatever.
It's not a requirement. We gonna go right outside of here. Like, it's not a requirement.
So this is what I tell you. Like you were saying before, we was talking about like the height thing. I coach youth football.
Yeah.
There's kids in there that's 5'5".
Yeah.
They run sub 4.5 40s. You know what I'm saying? Because they're
Understand.
light.
That's why
and
when
they're
I
fast.
said on Shannon that I ran that outrageous time, you just have to understand that was me as a young person. I didn't smoke cigarettes or weed or drink or none of that. I was a real specimen out there. But I'm saying what's before you is 50 some years old doing that
Still
with
getting it in.
without breaking the sweat and like
That's
knock it
impressive.
off,
Shout out
man.
to you because I need one of them
God
parachutes.
has given the blessings that he's given, so I don't want to be disrespectful.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yeah, I'm half that age. I still got to get a good
Racing
stretch.
that's really
niggas
impressive.
after the show is wild.
The niggas
Because
that
yo,
fitness
listen,
is laid down. They chilling.
on the athletic tip, staying there, you know what I'm saying? You linked up with Lethal Shooter.
Right.
Lethal shooters with everybody.
You know what I'm saying? How
Lethal Shooter's out
what's
here
the
right
form
now,
like?
man.
You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute, hold on. But if you're gonna have Melo critique this form, I gotta get a disclaimer first.
Okay, yeah, right.
Right.
Give
Sum it up
us
for
the
it.
context. of
Right,
this.
right. Sum it up for it.
You set the tone.
All right, so Lethal Shooter is one of the greatest in the world.
Yes.
Like, there's no denying that. My issue with basketball is I've broken every one of my fingers at least twice on each hand, right? So when I'm catching the ball, I'm trying to catch it in my palms and not on my fingers. And my
okay.
fingers getting stubbed is excruciating.
I
And
can see
so,
that.
and so my whole shooting form and everything is tailored to that. And yeah,
So you shoot mostly palms.
twice, like, so yeah, I have an entirely different shooting form. But it's why even once I tore the 2 rotator cuffs, I can still get my shot off.
Dog.
Because it might be ugly, but the consistency of it is what you can't deal with.
That's what I told my kids.
And I'm getting all the rebounds. You're not gonna beat me to a rebound. Like, I'm gonna get 2 shots for every 1 shot of you anyway. Like,
That's it.
Hey, the jump shot
Yeah,
is one thing, but I
but-
think y'all ran 94 feet just racing just now.
no, it's nothing. Like,
You dusted the Lethal Shooter in this one. Like, can we get to that part?
I've never seen this.
we
There
weren't
we go.
really
Splashed it.
Look, I'm doing these without dribbling. Did you notice? I'm not even dribbling at the foul line.
Nah, this is
So I slow up and let him catch right there, but then I show him the jet. No, this is easy work. It's impossible. Yeah, you can't beat him. It don't matter.
Leave smoke, Chris.
No. Don't talk like that. He'll smoke you too. He here. I'm saying nobody in here can. I'm saying don't clown him. He ran as fast as he could.
man, I gotta stretch.
That's impressive though.
There's no beating me.
If I'm one thing, is self-aware. I know
Yeah.
that I'll get dusted by everybody in this room
can
in
see it
a
on tape.
40-yard dash.
Yeah, I'm saying he
I can
did a
see it on
good job. But more importantly than that, he's a helpful guy.
Yeah, big time.
Oh,
You know
he's
what I
the
mean?
man. Love that
And
guy.
so I couldn't allow him to change my shot.
So he worked
But
within.
He helped me see things that I never would have seen. I played basketball my whole life. I never once in my life thought, did I catch this ball with the seams the right way? I didn't even know the ball had seams.
It's just a hang on, man, no teams.
You're not even counting them on the fingertips.
Yo.
Why would I cough on live TV? Sorry about that.
Come on, Jay.
But yeah, he taught me a lot of things that were super important and immediately helpful. And so that
Talking
was
about
important.
like rotation.
Oh, shit.
Because it wasn't mechanics, you said. Like he didn't fuck with the form because it's a painful thing, but it was like mechanics, yo, aim at this.
No, because I was commenting that he's like a machine when he shoots, right? And he was showing me how to be aware of the things that I wasn't aware of. So I shoot better off balance. You know what I mean?
Because of your form.
Because, right.
Yeah.
So
Halliburton.
my whole thing is, if you set a pick for me, I need you to actually touch the defender, because if you will just touch the defender, I'm past him by the time that happens. You see?
Right.
So
Your quickness.
right. And that's the only thing I got. And the fact the shot is ugly, I just don't get blocked because you're not even thinking I'm shooting. There's no shooting motion taking place. I'm dribbling in here and shooting in here.
From here.
So
That's
good luck with that.
You got the Shawn Marion.
Yeah, right. But yeah.
It's an unorthodox release.
Word.
It's hard to defend that.
It's like the Papa Shot shit, bro. You just flicking it up. Like, but it go. I always tell people, like, you remember in school when it was like the students versus the faculty? And like the science teacher would have a crazy jump shot, but it would go in every time. You know what I'm saying? The form would look crazy, but it would go every time.
I'm envisioning him coming off a screen and shooting
like that. Flip, like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And just straight net. That should get you fucking mad. Nigga, what?
Oh,
Yeah,
Like,
it's my
yo.
only free opportunity. Where somebody's not gonna block the shit out of it is right
Straight
there.
here.
Yeah.
you are very impressive, man. Like you like the man of many trades, though. You faster than niggas. You out there shoot with lethal shooter. you running in the parking lots. Like, you impressive, champ.
After the show, it's
my
the most
fans
interesting
pay
man
me for
alive.
these
Standing on it.
adventures.
That's why it's impressive and it's honorable, because you stand on it. You know what I mean? A lot of niggas that say you can't beat me 1-on-1 and then don't do it, but you stand on it. You impressive, champ. You like a real athlete. You like one of the little niggas in the hood, though, that all they jumping off the mattresses, they on the monkey bars, they like everywhere. They go
That's what I
hoop,
said,
they
yo, I'll
play
make
baseball,
you-
they play football, soccer.
Every sport.
They playing rock ball. Like, it's you was that.
Nigga come around with a tennis racket. You like, where the fuck you get that?
Every sport. Every sport.
I wasn't allowed in my childhood. I wasn't allowed to experience any athletic moments. So, I had 6 or 7 coaches come to our house, and my parents wouldn't allow anything. So, I learned from reading so many books that the preservation of your inner child is responsible for dictating how long you live. Because there are certain things that your childlike self would like and expects and would like to see and would be excited about. You still maintaining that and being able to foster that as you increase in years is just super helpful. And you understand that the more books you read, that, that's the preservation of life. Who gives a fuck what age you are, that's why health is wealth. You see, it's the ability for you to smile and go out in the sun and enjoy the things that are free. You got to have enough money to do the free stuff. You see?
Yeah.
And so all of that is tied to your childlike self, the things that matter to you. Then you have to constantly feed that and give that the freedom to try something and not do well at it, and then figure out, why didn't I do well at that? Well, I could quit, but I could also try to get better. How could I possibly get better? What would make this a better situation? And so carrying that with you in each of your endeavors, that's what I'm trying to show to the people that I represent.
And that's honorable, brother. Like,
Right.
honestly, that's respectful. let's keep it on that note though. Let's keep it in that tone. Like we have something here that we call like the 7 p.m. moment. As a player, 7 p.m. usually the time it was for me to lock in, getting ready for a game, getting ready for a moment right before the ball go up. So we use 7 p.m. moment on this show as a way for our guests to kind of just take us back to a very specific time or a crossroads moment in your life, in your career that really made you a game changer, or it was very game changing in your life. Like, what was that 7 p.m. moment for yourself? Part
of what makes me such an optimistic person, and part of what fuels the fact that I appear unbreakable is I attempt to make every moment a 7 p.m. moment, and to imagine that it might not ever go past whatever this thing is. So it doesn't matter if it's movie or TV or stand-up or an interview or it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Each of these might be the last time I get a chance to do this particular thing. And I'm trying to capture that moment, a mental picture and a mental movie of this, only because my initial list of things that I wanted to do in my life, I had probably done that whole list my first couple years in Hollywood, and then I had another list, and then I crossed everything off that. So I'm on my third or fourth list. It's important to keep your dreams current with your life.
Like Champ said, like, you're an interesting dude, man. You do a lot of different things. What are some of those things on that list that you're talking about? Like, that you've done and that you've yet to do?
So even with purchasing the military base for the movie studio and the $60 million that we have, going to work out there at Fort McClellan in Anniston, Alabama, this is a guy doing a movie studio who's in the movie business, you see? So I'm not just complaining about situations, because you can't just do that. You got to be able to give income and jobs and support. You got to be able to, if you're really in the league like that. And so it was important for me to get a place where we can just do great movies, and there is no casting couch and no demonic rituals you gotta follow, and you don't have to bring baby oil and nothing that might compromise you, and there's nobody judging you. It's just a place that makes really great movies, and you can come there and do that. And so Kemet Movie Works is that. And so the fact that it is so beautiful and important is important to me. By the same token, when I was growing up, I was a speed reader, and then in our class we were able to take speed reading, and I was top of the class. So I understand that when I tell people like I done read thousands of books, they're like, sure you have, but they don't think you owned thousands of books. Like, I owned thousands of books. Like, I'm not having a conversation because, because all of these things are important. Like, because of the quality of the things I was reading, like, I'm getting something from each of these. Right. Like I'm learning something from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a whole experience. I'm seeing how people operate under duress. Like, I'm reading Winston Churchill's biography. I don't know who he is, but I'm finna I'm finna explore his life. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, that's why I try to have all 7 p.m. moments as much as possible, because we know that life ain't promised. We know how lucky we are that we woke up every morning, thanks to God. But a lot of times we get so busy, we don't act like that, right? Mm-hmm. But the way he done blessed me my entire life and kept me, you follow what I'm saying? I've been arrested 35 times, you know what I mean? I'm out here talking to you, you know what I mean? I got 19 assault and batteries, you know what I'm saying? This is a Daniel in the Lion's Den type story he's been able to take me through. Right. And I've just had to be faithful, you know? I make sure that I'm as impeccable as I can be. And when you make mistakes, be accountable, you know?
Right.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Speaking about
Oh, that's perfect sense. Yeah, you feel me? I'm sitting here like going to church. I'm like,
that's a fact. Nah.
God is
Stay
important.
mellow, man.
Yeah, nah.
Stay mellow. Come on, man.
Pretty. And speaking of Kemet, you said that it's a place where people can go and just kind of create, right? Which is
Kemet.
Which is real rare, you know what I'm saying, nowadays. You know what I mean? Because of, you know, like the industry, the way things work, gatekeeping, all of that. What was the impetus for you to start creating this, to go down there and make that investment in Alabama, open up that studio, you know what I mean, and invest back into your craft, into comedy
and the community?
In the community.
Well, if comedy is my craft, then we have to be realistic and realize that Hollywood was in large part built on the back of comedy. The fact that no matter what color you were or what your ethnic group, if you did a funny movie, people responded to that. And that was important in our business. As far as Black movies are concerned, there's not enough of those as it is, because they all require a trauma base. So in order to do a movie with Black people, something got to be happening to somebody.
Yeah.
You see? And our white counterparts can make a movie about
fucking golf,
us going out
to the
for the weekend for this wine tasting and the hilarities that ensued. You know what I mean? And so understanding both of those lanes and being in that world, it was just important that there be somewhere that people could go. But by the same token, it's why I would experience a lot of opposition as well, because nobody cares about the guy that's trying to help other people in real life. So they were not really fans of Nikola Tesla while he was here, because of, you know, the fact that he was honest. He didn't say he came up with his ideas. He said he went to Egypt and got the information, and he said that he studied that in the Sumerians and came up with it, and he wanted to just give free energy to the world. And as soon as they knock him off now, everybody can make billions of dollars off of energy, and everybody can have an electric company, and you know. So this road is a dangerous and hazardous road, but it has all the benefits as well. So,
you know, in addition to that, I feel like in the same sort of spirit of creating the studio, stand-up comedians, I think now more than ever, are more than just guys telling jokes. They kind of follow your philosophy. They kind of, you know, when they want to make sense of all the craziness happening outside, they look to you guys as more of like the modern day philosophers. So,
and
well, they don't have
calm.
to be.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a calmness too.
There's okay.
They could be a goofball. See, there's room in comedy for goofballs.
Right.
Like, we don't need everybody talking about the same stuff I be talking about.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean for you specifically.
Oh, for me specifically.
For you specifically, people follow you in that sort of vein where, yes, you're entertaining, yes, you're comedic, but also, as I mentioned earlier, you live by a specific code that is infallible to even get into your eco space. How much more important is it, that part of it, as far as like people following you and your philosophies just on life in addition to just being an incredible comedian on top of all that, and the businesses that you've run on top of all that? How do you kind of find that balance?
There's no need for balance. That is well balanced. You see, I'm a public official, so everything I do is for the public's perusement. So my job is to do the best that I can, to try as hard as I can to figure out what are the things that I could do that would add and uplift this, and then doing it. And so as a facilitator, as a vessel, my job is easy. Like I can stay committed because I'm only representing authenticity, and I am showing that as well. So it's not very difficult to walk the walk and talk the talk.
When you do interviews, I feel like you typically, like, you don't hold back. Like, you speak truth to power every time. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, you know what I mean, like, it goes a little bit out there, viral, whatever you want to call it.
I've beaten people up, and I've been beat up. If you've ever been in both of those positions, then you understand. Like,
Right.
I never, the blessing with me is I never have a bad intention. It's always for a reason, like, regardless. And if the truth is involved, then I'm not even allowed to be worried. What would I be worried about? It's those that traffic in falsehoods that got to worry about me, because I'll say something. You see?
Right.
Right. So you don't be scared of your own dog.
Okay.
Speaking of that, you just had, speaking about 7 p.m. moments, right? And speaking about, you can't be afraid of your own dog, in a sense. I actually love that quote.
Because I love my dogs.
Yeah. But you had a moment on Club Shay, a couple months back, and that right there was a moment that kind of shot a shooting star for Shannon, right? And just that ecosystem of conversations. And you were very candid, but you were very peaceful while you're saying these things, right? A lot of kind of sound bites came out of that. That single moment, to me, like I said, changed Shannon's whole conglomerate that he got going on. It brought more awareness and more attention. Maybe more
biggest
than
interview of the year.
That was one of the biggest ones, I would say.
The biggest interview in YouTube history. So those aren't the same things.
They're not the same things.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, I don't think he was ready for that moment. Like, how did that, from an outsider, how did that change his life at that moment? And how did that change your life at that moment? Not your life in general, but at that moment, how did life change?
The interview had to go to somebody. If I know beforehand what I'm capable of delivering, then I also know to be judicious in who I'm picking to get that. If I know Katt, he's only comfortable if he got the drop on you when he come to get interviewed anyway, because he wants to make sure that you don't flip on him. But all Shannon was going to get was a blessing, and that was all I was there to make sure that happened.
You ain't got to drop on anybody here, do you? I need to know something. This is the blessing. This is the blessing part of those interviews, This is the blessing part of that podcast.
Right. Well, I'm saying in my personal business, you can either do the dirt or you can know the dirt. I'm one of the chosen high-ranked know the dirt individuals, right? And so dirt responds as they should when the vacuum walks in.
Nah, come on. Are you a rapper? You rap on the side?
Clearly, sir, yeah.
Bro,
No, I still rap currently. No, I'm saying currently. Yeah. But my point was that I came to deliver an interview having seen some of my competitors and peers get on that same court and do a performance that involved my name. And so once 6 or 7 of you have made this same violation, it's my job as the king to show up and chastise thee. This is my job. I'm supposed to come in and restore order because that's my position. The fact that it's ignored by the clowns because they're all in the same frat, comedically, like, that's all well and good. I don't care nothing about none of that. But the job still needs to be done. And if God lets me know it's a good time for that, that's how I'm going to write it up and deliver it. So I didn't know anything Shannon was going to say. I didn't know what questions he was going to ask. Like there was no conversation. Like, yeah.
What was the impetus behind that? Like, what made you say, like you said, like, you basically answered the question already, but what made you say, all right, man, enough is enough. I've heard y'all say this and that and mention my name, or you know what I mean? And it's all false. I got to come up here and set the record straight. Did you go up there with that intention, or was that something that just happened naturally through the conversation?
If there is a God side and the other side, if there are moral things and things that are immoral, if there is this side or that side, it can't be left up to thought process. I'm an enforcer on this side. I'm not only on God's side, I'm active, right? And so comedically, that means that, you know how sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. We traffic in words. I can get up with these words and end your legacy.
We've seen it.
I don't care how long. Right. Because if it's built on sand, it just is.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to feel any type of way by exposing your hand. That's how this game works. I don't mean to break your ankles, but if I cross you over, I just did, didn't I? Take it how you want to take it. Don't get mad at my little celebration.
It's a reason. It was a reason. I ain't even know it was a lot of lightning on here.
I got an active pineal gland.
That eye's powerful.
Let me tell you something, man. Like, the fallout from that interview, it almost felt like prophecy for a lot of people. Like, it was my first time hearing those things.
Yeah.
And I didn't do no Googles or wasn't really in social media or keeping up on any of that stuff. I look at it and be like, it felt like prophecy. Like, as the year went on, things that you said in that interview, headline after headline. You mean
like Diddy going to jail or TDJ stepping down? Which one?
I mean, it was all there. It was all there. And then, like, every time you see like hashtag Katt was right. Katt tried. They have the clip.
I'm only trying to tell the truth.
How many of those you get a day though? Katt was right.
I don't look at it like that. I don't own the information. I'm very firm that I'm on God's side. So consequently, it's never a problem trying to be humble. I'm always humble. Like, I know I ain't shit. I know why I'm special. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I connect to that source every day. Me and God are in a conversation about this adventure that I'm on and how this can go, and him giving me these opportunities, like with this Shannon thing, to speak globally and to show the fact that my words and your words are not the same. I can say some things articulately for a long period of time and still be saying something. And at the end of the day, little boy, nobody's checking for you because you're not liable to say nothing.
Right.
You're either not allowed to say nothing because of the relationships you have in business, or you're not man enough to do it, or your friends is bitch ass niggas, so you feel allegiance to, but for whatever those reasons are, neutrality is what you don't get to have. Pick a side. Right? And so when I'm talking about these Illuminati conversations, that's just to get those things out there in real conversation. I didn't invent these things, and I'm not the reason they exist. But my job as a public official is to find out what the truth is about things and reveal that to us that care about that sort of thing.
Why is it that there's not as many people like you that will come out and say, yo, listen, I don't give a fuck. This is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Because they'll kill you. And it's not a joke, and it's not like, no, because a life doesn't mean anything to them. It's easy for them to do. They're adept at doing a ditty, getting rid of you and not having no handprints on it. Like this is how they traffic. And so you will have to really not be scared, not be acting like you not scared. You'd have to really be too stupid to be scared. You see what I'm saying? I'm backed by God, so I don't even know how to have the fear you need me to have.
But is that stupidity? That ain't stupid if you backed by God.
Hey, I just put it out there for the idiots to have something to grasp onto. But what I'm saying is, if my only belief is in God, then how I'm going to be scared?
Only God can judge me, huh? The NBA season might be over, but you know you can still get right with FanDuel.
FanDuel's the best place to find all your favorite player props, and now you can make the smarter play with new performance trends.
Want to see if a guy's hitting that over consistently? Or maybe some ladies in the W have been flirting with a potential triple-double? Get the latest stats right inside the app and see who's heating up. Melo, what are your favorite sports to check out during the summertime, man? The NBA season is over, but the W's out there, baseball's playing, NFL OTAs, like what's your eyes on?
I'm gonna go with the W right now.
Okay.
Baseball is still a little too early for me.
Yeah.
We got to get through August or something like that.
I like how quick the W season is. All the games feel important.
Yes, and shout out to the Liberty, they are cooking.
Hey, still undefeated?
Yes, sir. And you mentioned that OTA is right around the corner. Training camp is right there. You know what I'm saying? It'll be over before we know it. I need some early thoughts on our NFL teams. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big blue guy myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what they're going to do. You know?
I bleed purple, man. So.
Yeah. I feel good about my Jets, man. I think Justin Fields going to have a breakout season, man. Let's go.
You don't miss A-Rod?
Aaron Glenn. Hey, man, shout out Steelers. That'll be fun, but I believe in Aaron Glenn, man. Jets it's gonna be a good Jets year.
You know where I'm at, champ.
Ravens Nation. I already know that. How you feel about the season?
You know, man, we flocking. Don't worry about it. We with the birds. I'm going with my guys
to win the division, to win the
everything.
Oh,
win it all. Yeah, I mean they got to.
Everything.
Okay. Yo, listen. If you lock it in now, it's worth more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with it. With FanDuel, you could combine live prop bets in the same game parlay for a chance to win mega.
And if you don't already have FanDuel, it's not too late to get in on the action. You'll get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. So just visit FanDuel.com/7PM to join the day. Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
We call Melo the peace god around here.
Yeah, with respect, we call him that.
With respect, respect. And on this couch a few months ago, Ali Siddiq came on the show, and he had some things to say about you not making public or private amends, and said something along the lines of, and I'm paraphrasing here because it's been a minute, but he said something along the lines of like the apology's got to be just as loud as the disrespect. You know what I mean? Whichever way it was. I don't know.
I agree with that philosophy wholehearted, but let's be very clear. I just said I didn't remember the guy. So I said I don't know the guy, right? Mm-hmm. And then other comedians showed me pictures where I'm around the guy. He's in the same room as me. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm too old. I feel like if I don't have your number and you don't have my number, we never exchanged numbers, then nigga, I don't know you. I feel like if we've never communicated or like... Okay, so, but if I said that I didn't know you and clearly I've been around you. That was the only apology I could have made to the guy. And so I didn't have any amends that I was trying to make. So when it was suggested that he meet up with me, he was confused at why I was not going to be having no apologetic energy. Like, no, nigga, I'm not apologizing. On site is on site. Like I'm the person being crossed in this situation, not vice versa. I'm not sure what he said, but whatever he said, it didn't involve me doing something to him or doing something against him or stepping outside of code. I'm not sure what he said the issue actually was, but I'm saying at the end of the day, you can't afford to be a comedian and be black and be short and be righteous and have me as a op, my nigga. It's counterproductive to your very existence. Not just because I'm him, but because you're not. And so how, I'm saying...
I mean, Ali's also great work, I have nothing disrespectful to say about him because I don't know him like that. Like, as a comedian, I think he does a great job. He's a storyteller. Generally, you got to be 80 years old to be a storyteller. Like, nobody does that even brand of comedy. Like, I don't see, that's why it can't, most of these can never be legitimate beefs because I'm not an insecure person. Like, I'm a quick to say I'm sorry type nigga. Like, I would never let a nigga fuck around and damage both of our energies. Are you kidding? Like, but by the same token, if you don't really like me because you can't be me, then my job is to make it better and better looking for you, boy. Because you probably at the club and I'm probably at the arena at your hometown. I'm probably selling 21,000 tickets where you live. You probably at the club still. You probably is barking outside of your lane. Nobody in the WNBA get to talk sideways to Melo. So why I'm gonna let these Lil Rails and niggas in a whole different, these CBA niggas, why I'm gonna let them talk about what I got going on over here in the real league? It's weird.
That's a fact. But do you,
weird.
Do you, like, to me, like, beef, I don't think it's a beef. And I'm just an outsider. You know what I mean? Like,
there is not. It's all peace,
beef
guy.
is beef. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we gotta stop. That's why I said that to somebody on social media the other day. Stop using these type of words, man. The terminology.
That's different. Beef is something.
But I'm saying
it's legitimate though, because look. What I'm saying is just, everybody that I talked about on Shannon, if I said, like what I was saying about Cedric is, no, do you know how many times me and Cedric been in the same room? Like, no, I had to give him a pass. So do you think how you would feel if you gave somebody a pass for something and then 10 years after the pass, they act like the offense didn't even happen? Like, are you kidding? Of course I would have punched you in your bread basket. Are you kidding me? Like, there's no way. Like, so yeah, it do be legitimate beef, because if I say I don't like you, I mean that in the literal and the physical.
But to me, that
I have that
true
issue,
indeed.
bro.
True indeed. But the Ali shit, right? Only because he sat here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
This ain't no gossip shit. This is real shit. It's like he sat here.
Yeah.
And as I'm observing what he's saying, it's like, and then hearing your side of it, it's a disconnect in the way that we receiving this information. You have one standpoint of, I didn't know who that was in the room. Yeah, he was in the room, but I didn't, right?
Okay.
And
so
then on his perspective, it's,
but let me help you.
Who I was.
Let me help
he's fronting on me.
Let me reveal.
Please do.
Let me reveal.
I like to get this to the bottom of this.
Most of his story is fictitious, right? So he has worked a deal with the venue where the people that put on the shows, he got in the contract that he gonna open all the shows, that the comedy shows that come to this particular venue, right? So generally most artists aren't even the people that see their contracts. They don't know about none of that, right?
Yeah.
But because I run all my stuff, I see all of the contracts, right? But when I bring my tour, I have 5 or 6 people opening for me, and they already come with us. Ali was not one of those people. He was not traveling with us. He was not on the tour. There are no posters and billboards that Ali was on tour with Katt. That does not exist. It was just for this venue because this is the venue he had pull at, right? So he thinks as a guy opening the show that he can come out to Everyday Hustling, Everyday I'm Hustling by Rick Ross and come do his set to start the show when me, the headliner, is coming out to the same thing. I'm not even at the venue. It's my people telling this nigga, you cannot come out to that, nigga. It's Katt show. And he's telling the comedians, y'all ain't even gonna be able to follow me. I come to do 30 minutes and I'm gonna kill. And like, by the time I get to the conversation, like, either Ali can perform or I can. You see how that's a no-brainer? Right. But because somebody did book him, maybe this is a money situation. So somebody get this man a check so that he didn't lose any money for coming out. I wouldn't want it to be that type of situation. So no matter how you break this is never me versus him. Like, he was never like that's why he can't tell you about any conversation he was having with me and how that's just not possible. Like, I already had the people on the tour that was on the tour already. This is just a stop in Houston.
You moving how you moving, and it's coming from 2 different directions.
But he's aware of both of those directions. He's not unaware.
Is it salvageable?
He told you himself there's nothing to salvage.
Copy.
I'm saying it would be different if we had a relationship and it went awry. We never had a relationship. He was on an opposition team. He's the enforcer for Bill Bellamy and D-Lay and Billy Sorrells. So because that's his squad, because that's his squad, I'm over here. You dig?
All right.
And everybody understands that.
So you drew the line.
Hey, I didn't draw anything.
Okay.
But I will acknowledge the line at all times.
Indeed.
Like, there's no cards to play on me. There's no way for you to be in open competition with me and wanting to do harm to me when you know how important I am to this thing. And the fact that you're supposed to be that as well, it's unforgivable. Like, it's almost sacrilege.
I mean, I get it. I totally understand.
But you talk about battles
because at the end of the day, he a trustee. As a nigga that go to jail, we don't give a fuck what the trustees say. They always talking.
So how do you balance that, though? So you said balance.
I just
Only
showed
balance
you.
Equal balance, right?
Left fist, right fist, same way he balances.
but you just said another thing, though. You said knowing how important you are to this, right? Why would you, like...
As an independent artist who didn't give in to Hollywood, who's got the same...
But if you deck a nigga in the street, you know what I'm saying? Like, that could jeopardize what
that
you
was
got
none
going.
That was none of he and I's interaction at any
beef,
point. Like,
it's
impossible for it to be a beef. I never had a grudge with this guy.
Even outside of it being beef, you said, he would come in and say, I got 30 minutes, nobody can file me, all that type of stuff.
But he was just saying that to the comedians that I had as openers.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, at least at that same level, you can at least respect that energy as a stand-up comedian where you want the competitiveness of wanting to be the guy.
Nah. He'll tell you, when we go to play an away game, stay the fuck over there. This the away version over here. That's the home locker room over there. You stay over there. We over here. Right? Like, knock it off.
We come through 2 different directions.
This is an away game. How you finagled your way.
Yeah, break that down for me for folks who may not.
To get adjacent to my team, but you don't respect me as a leader and captain of the team, and you also disrespecting the rookies.
Right.
Like, knock it off. Where do you play? You probably play at the Chicken Shack. They got 150 seats in there. Go live that life. That's your real life. This is an arena. This Toyota Center we talking about. Knock it off.
It's a little different.
I ain't gonna have the conversation.
Hey man, I'm a fan of both of y'all brothers.
We tried.
You know, I know Sharpie's gone. I'm like, damn. I'm like,
not only did you try.
It didn't work always.
If you guys can tell me that when you had the conversation with him that he said something differently than I said, that he. So what are you saying? You saying he went for peace? You saying he went for peace and then I messed it up by coming on and not accepting it?
No.
I gotta say,
we heard his piece.
The way I interpret it,
he also told you that there could be no making amends for because of the lines that have already been crossed.
Yes.
Okay.
For me, it's only the fact that they've been crossed when I have no beef with him.
Yeah.
But it seems like those lines are imaginary.
Nothing in my world is imaginary.
No, to him. You know, or
self-generated.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Right,
like,
but I'm saying only one of us is trying to get mentioned in the same sentence as the other. Me being talked about with Ali Siddiq does nothing for my credibility or anything.
Right.
Him being mentioned with me, though, somehow puts him in the conversation of greatness without needing 60 movies. He can have 0. Without having 50 network appearances, he can have 0. With 13 specials, he can have 6 and still be in this same conversation. It's for us to not allow that. And we do that by ignoring every episode of everything that he's on. That's why the numbers be so low.
So you were saying enforcer.
You got to born the knowledge, man. You got to born the knowledge.
We tried, America.
Listen, I try to complete the cipher, man.
There was no times that Carmelo suited up to play the opposition team and was okay with the fact that tonight the other team wins.
Facts. I agree with that.
This is 101. This is ISO. I'm the greatest 101 ISO in the lanes I play in that ever existed. And I don't need nobody
to validate.
You can't broker peace. There must be a winner. There must be a loser. Don't be mad at me because I'm throwing my W up.
Man.
Sorry. To those it may offend.
The talk.
Yo, listen,
you probably a part of L Nation. You can only talk that way if you've had to back it up and have it not received well.
And the receipts is out there, man. The receipts is out there. That's why it's like, damn, it's like.
We're receipt generators. We probably did the Shannon Sharp interview already having planted enough of the information out there for people to be able to find. I don't know. I'm saying if they call somebody a genius, they must be making some moves, you know. See.
But you are very generous though. Like you are very generous with your time and actually your fucking money, which is very hard to do in this industry. Right, or these industries, like how are you so generous in this type of cutthroat industry?
How do you maintain that same sort of like alpha level of being the number one, but also have that generosity? You know, you speak about all the comedians you bring on tour.
Right,
a lot of very famous comedians will tell stories about how you've looked out for them and like have never looked for, you know, acknowledgement or praise, have done stuff in quiet to take care of folks. Like there's that balance. How do you sort of maintain that, and why is that important to you?
Truthfully, I'm not that generous. I'm not a generous natured person, but I do enjoy following a contract, right? And so personally, I have a contract with God, and the part of the contract that God has to follow requires certain things in my life. And the requirement for me is to make sure that it is worldwide and globally known that if you, as one of God's people, interacts with me, that God's blessings can flow from me to you. And so it's not philanthropy. It's a necessity. If you show me $100, I don't see 100. I only see 90. 10 of that gotta go. You see what I'm saying? To his people, however that can happen quickest and in real life. And all I wanted was the ability to determine whether somebody is God's people or not. My job is to be as positive in interaction with any of God's people that I may come in contact with in whatever situation I'm in. That's part of my contract.
What one of those moments is one of the ones that you're the most proud of? You know,
I'm not proud of any of them.
it's just this is what I'm here to do.
part of the contract.
If you go to McDonald's and something costs $2.75, are you proud that you gave them $3?
Hell no, I want my quarterback.
Right. So now, once you got the quarterback, right?
Yeah. Or 18 cents with tax, I don't know.
What you gonna do with that?
Right. So understand that where I rank spiritually, right? There aren't any more levels for me to attain other than the supreme level of happiness and contentment that I'm at. The only way that I can show the enemy that money does not affect me in any way is this generosity that you're talking about. The money can't move me, right? I move the money. You see, I can put the money here and because I'm never in a loan situation. There's nothing for me to be proud of. These are God's people. This God's money. He makes sure I got it. Part of the reason he makes sure I got so much of it is because of what I do with it. This why the op hate me. Because I'm a motivating factor and an asset to it. I come to bring, that's what I bring. And so it's an easy thing to do. My point in the McDonald's thing was, you know how you pay tax?
Yeah.
And you don't feel proud that you paid the tax. You just pay the tax.
Yeah.
Right. And you're excited to pay the tax because it comes along with everything else, right? So you see what I mean? Like,
Sometimes we don't like to accept the tax.
If I'm only putting the tithe amount into the universe, I want that number to get as big as it can be. I know exactly what it means if I give $1.5 million away. I know what that means I made. You see, I'm not looking at it the same way, but you know.
You got a different insight.
You got to make enough money that money don't matter.
Well, I don't spend my money. I don't buy pussy or drugs. So I got the type of disposable income that most people just don't have. Like, I'm able to really do something good with it, and I'm determined that I do that as often as possible.
A lot of motherfuckers spending money on pussy and drugs. That's crazy. That's something that's not talked about a lot. There's a lot of motherfuckers spending money on pussy and drugs, bro.
Right.
Disposing all the income.
Right.
So that leads us to the next question, right? You paying for pussy and drugs. You stand up.
I'm not saying either is not worth being paid for. I'm just saying
it's a market value.
I still buy weed. Don't get it twisted. I'm saying.
We got you, man. We ain't got to buy that no more.
You get the Stay Melo pack.
I got a strain. Yeah. So
we're going to share. We're going to share.
You have to do the jersey swap after the show.
We're going to share.
Thank you.
The jersey swap.
I got 100 tons in Cali sitting in a warehouse somewhere.
We're going to share crop. In 06, your stand-up, the Pimp Chronicles, part one is regarded by many as undeniable classic. Like we all sit here with lines. The culture got the lines, line by line. Could you sit here and say, honestly, that that's the best stand-up over the past 25 years?
Could I say that?
I know you would say that. But do you agree with that?
In the comedy realm that I came into, most comedians had a great set, and they would do that set for years and years and years, no matter where they were, just year after year after year. And it was hard to beat those comedians with those jokes that they always did. And I just wanted to do a brand new hour of material as often as God allowed me to have that point of view. So now that I'm only concerned if it's my best.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I know that it was monumental, and I know that there were certain reasons for that, because I worked hard to get it to that level. I had already done 4 or 5 specials before that one. You know, I needed that one to really go in Atlanta. I needed this to really do what it did. I needed to take this foundation, and it was a bridge piece from my work in film to my stand-up and marrying a concept. You know, there's a lot of stuff that Prince and I used to just discuss artistically, the importance of always looking different, sounding different, being different presentation, every project, giving it your best. But I'm honored that people love it. I know it was a great special for me personally, but I'm not in charge of any of that.
So let me ask a different question. As a player,
Yeah.
I go back and watch film.
Yes.
I'll go back and watch the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I might add the last 30 years, right? And I always try to see what was my impact and within those 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? How much of a real impact did I really have stepping into this new realm of space?
Yeah.
Do you look back at Pimp Chronicles Volume 1 and watch other footage and videos and shows and sit there and say, damn, maybe that can slide up here with that one? Do you reorder in your mind a lot of the work that's out there when you reflect back on 25 years? Because there's some great shows that's out there, some great stand-ups that's out there. But when you have the eye that you have now.
You're just talking about watching personal film.
Just watching personal film.
Right. So, I appreciate how prophetic God has allowed me to be in my space. Like I'm having, we're having these conversations comedically about things that later on are really gonna come to pass. Like we're having conversations about how the country feels at this particular moment and what people that are like us are going through, what's popping up on our radar. So I don't have time for frivolous jokes. I'm in a real conversation with this fan base. So it's like that on each one of my specials. I never care less how it's going to do or be received or any of that. I wrote this 9 months ago. Every time. You see what I'm saying? I wrote this 9 months ago about what I thought the future was going to present and placed my jokes and conversation together for that presentation and then toured it around the country and then brought it to you in special format. So, you know what I mean? Like the ones that do magnificent, but from what I heard, they didn't really care for my last special. There were certain critiques about it, but that I don't let that take away from the fact that 13 million people saw it that hour. Right. So you're not going to be able to understand the difference in the numbers that you're even talking. Like, no, Netflix is quite pleased. Yeah. Right. So the whole thing for me is I'm never trying to please anybody other than I'm trying to have an authentic conversation between me and this fan base about my real authentic point of view. You see what I'm saying?
right.
Okay.
And not being scared to call names if names got to be called, not being scared to be in those real positions with my real career, with my real family, with my real, you know what I mean?
Of course,
so
of course.
that's the only way that you can do that and not have any regrets, not ever having like, oh, I wish I hadn't have said, or no, I'm never under the influence of anything. I might be making you feel like that, but that's just for your benefit. Like in real life, it's not like that at all.
So speaking, y'all spoke on like a creator's point of view. From a fan's point of view, I feel like when you're ranking great bodies of work, there's like certain marks you got to hit, like quotable lines, like incredible stage set, like certain iconic stand-ups. You remember the outfit they're wearing. Like there's certain things that like, when you're ranking the greatest of all time.
So you say, yeah, but the whole thing
You
is,
remember red suit,
right? Like you think of red suit, you think of Eddie Murphy, right? Like you think the patent leather joint with Chris Rock. Like there's certain moments that when you're ranking these like iconic stand-ups, like there's certain boxes I got to be.
Richie with the red suit.
Green suit.
hey, I was trying to go a different way because the whole thing is, what bothered me is the fact that Eddie Murphy only got 2 specials. Chris Rock got 4 specials. Like, we would have liked 17 specials from both of those guys as a fan base. You know what I mean? So my decision was, when I get in that position as a comedian, like, I'm going to feed my people. My people going to eat. What's my product? A comedy special? Oh, they can expect one every rotation. I should be on my 23rd 100 city tour by now. If it come to feed, no, I'm a caterer. You see what I'm saying?
For sure. For sure.
You can do that if you're independent and you the only person telling you what to do, and you don't have no boss, and your deal is with the arenas and you on percentage, and the percentage is as high as it can legally be. Like, what more do I want from God? I just want to go do a good job.
All right, so let me switch up from stand up to TV and movies, because I feel like if there was like an award for like greatest cameo, greatest feature, greatest like scene stealer, like in almost all of your movies, you've always had like a scene where everyone like you just steal it, whether it's Next Friday, whether it's, what you just did with Keke Palmer, One of Them Days. Atlanta, you had an incredible guest appearance there with the alligator and it gets an Emmy and all this type of stuff. Like, just, you have an ability to make the most with less when it comes to TV time. Even from My Wife and Kids, when you would pop up on there, like, you just have these moments. What's the secret to that? What's the secret to making the most out of less when it comes to television? Stand up, you got all that time, you got a blank canvas. TV, movies, it feels like I got this time, I got to make the most of it. How do you approach that?
Well, now in retrospect, if they didn't give me the starring role of a movie, my job is to make a starring role out of the part I do have, right? And so I don't have another concern in this movie other than how well this character does in this movie. Understanding that if I do well with this character, it's going to help everybody. The whole movie is going to be better for this performance that I'm going to do. Because whatever is on this page, all I'm trying to do is to deliver that person as a real person, and they're also going to be funny. And that's my only job. And so that's my concern in every part of the scene and every piece of it. When I come prepared. Like, I come to work. This is 101. This ISO. Like I don't want to say that I don't want the starring role, but I'm saying I don't require it because clearly you want somebody else to be in it.
Nah.
That's just no. I'm saying whoever this casting person is. I'm saying clearly that role you see somebody else in that.
I was about to say,
and I'm fine with that as well. This little minuscule role here. What am I playing? The homeless man in one of them days.
Right. Yep.
I don't require them to make any adjustments to this script because this Katt Williams playing this homeless man. I don't need more lines. I don't need to change up the wardrobe. I don't need none of that. All I need to do is come in and do a good job, and the movie should do really well because this is a comedy, and that's what I do, is I deliver these roles. So it's not just making more with less as it pertains to movies. It's in general. And I think if you're 5'5", your relationship should help you.
So you mentioned Prince before, and the parallel between music and comedy, where you could kind of sit in a sound or in a set, you know what I'm saying, for a minute, or you could expand beyond what you already done. You said yourself, like, you don't like to recycle stuff. Like, every special is new stuff. How do you manage that? You know what I'm saying? Because it's tough. A lot of comedians, they'll do, like you said, a year or multiple years of just the same set over and over and over and over again because it hits.
Well, there's a benefit to that. I'm saying the more they do it, the better they're getting at it. So I understand that part of it as well.
Practice makes perfect.
But I was trying to. I have a different relationship with my fan base. Like my tickets aren't cheap. Like understand, I'm not just on tour. Like I say 100 cities, like people not understand it's 100 arenas. They not understanding these things be sold out. They not understanding I don't do no promotion. You can't find a post of me going, hey, St. Louis, I'm on the way to see you guys. Come on out and get some tickets. There's no evidence of any of that. Respectfully, only because I don't need to. The track record is really thorough in your family. Your aunts, your sisters, your cousins, they've all been to a show. Everybody had a great time. It do be worth the money. He brings other people out that's not him, and they funny too. All the bad bitches be there. All the real motherfuckers be there. It really is a vibe. It really is. So, we're blessed to have that as our situation.
On stage, you expending a lot of energy, champ. Like there's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? But especially you, because your comedy is real. You into it when you up there. You know what I mean?
You tell a full story when you're on the stage.
60 movies, 50 television appearances, 13 comedy specials. Every time you see me, I'm trying as hard as I possibly can to do the job that's at hand, whatever that means.
And then you're gonna dust a nigga in the parking lot? That's to me. That's
in several allegories. Because that's what's required. Like,
I gotta get in shape, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I want to go back to like, the stats that he just threw out there, right? Because that goes over a lot of people's heads, right? That 60, that 40, that the amount of stand-ups, like those numbers, niggas ain't doing those numbers, bro. Like when we talking about, you said 60, how many 60 what?
60 minutes?
Yeah, so 60 movies.
60 movies.
50 television
50
appearances.
television shows, 13, 12.
13 specials, my 23rd 100 city tour.
Come on, man.
I'm saying
that's a body of work.
We doing all of this unfunded, never been sponsored. You never see me in no commercial other than the one for Supreme. But so every special I did, that was us doing it ourselves, doing the cover art, making sure it got on television. We did that more times than any comedian breathing or dead. So that's why we don't let little Ali's run up, because the stats are what they are.
Yeah, in fact, and on this show, we, like Champ says, like, we always get flowers, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
I ain't mean to shift it left, but I guess them numbers was impressive.
It's crazy,
man.
And that's a fact, though, but the thing is, too, is like, you one of the first examples of independence from like the industry, right? The agency system, the lawyers, the agency triangle offense. You know what I'm saying? Like you one of the first examples of like true independence from that, but people don't really talk about it. So that's why I wanted to just bring it up because, you know what I'm saying? Like on this show, we like to, bring up facts, you know what I mean? And give people their flowers. And you, one of them ones, man. So salute to you. Because you was doing arenas.
That was impressive.
Thank you. The resume is deep and like you said, it's all you. You know what I'm saying?
And you've created a model that I think any stand-up comedian that's trying to get on now in 2025 is trying to emulate. Like it went from a point where I felt like a lot of stand-up comedians were trying to get their hour on a HBO or a Netflix or whatever, and you can still do that, but what do you do in between that time? And I think you've helped create like a stand-up comedy or just a full-on entertainment ecosystem that I think a lot of people have tried to emulate, as far as owning everything that you do, from your specials, from your stand-ups, from your touring. Like I know we spoke off camera about like, percentages of tours, not even like getting booked for shows. Like you own a piece of the house every night you go out there. And I think that's not talked about enough as far as like how much of a rarity that was 20 years ago. Talk less than now. Independence
and ownership are your rights. But you have to understand that you come in with those. You come in with those. So we, in doing the specials, we weren't handing over ownership. We were doing 100 cities to make sure that it was sharp, then shooting it, making sure that it was television quality, paying for the production of it, and then licensing it. So that, you see what I'm saying? It's because we're only licensing it. So HBO, my HBO special, not done by HBO. I'm saying my Showtime special, not done by Showtime. Like we have our own independence when we come in. And if you understood that, then you would be able to
comprehend that.
Right. And that's something that you can sustain, when you need it to do better, you can do more. So, oftentimes people with jobs don't want to talk about entrepreneurship, but we have to.
Why do you think that is? Because a lot of people like myself, like I'd see somebody like you in the comedy space and like, not saying like model it after the thing like Katt said, but like they take things from what you do and apply it, you know what I mean, to my own approach, you know what I mean, as a comedian.
We were always allowed to look at Jordan and watch Melo shoot and then go in the driveway and try to do that. That's part of love of the game.
Facts.
Is watching who do it best and seeing what parts of those you can make your own. That's a part of it. Yeah. So, it's Father's Day weekend. These niggas know they my sons. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good. Whether they love me or hate me, I have provided the best example that I could possibly.
You got to set them an edible arrangement or something, man. Something, a card,
no need.
A gift card. Salute him if you see him.
Shout out to you bringing the Heaven and Earth tour back this fall.
Right. Thank you.
You doing the Garden?
Regrettably, I think our relationship is with Barclays. That's where.
Hey,
you know what?
That's where we were just had months. We were just had months ago.
We in Brooklyn, so we in Brooklyn. We in Brooklyn, so we got a good relationship. But you know what I mean, with the owners over there, with the size and shit. So
yeah,
Josiah, they good people. They good folks.
Yeah, I appreciate. I appreciate what they provide for us, and it's a wonderful venue, and they hire wonderful people, so I don't want to.
No, it's one of those venues though. Barclays is one of those. I would take Barclays because it's Brooklyn and it gives Brooklyn the chance. So you talking about your fan base and like locking in on a very specific group of people.
Yeah.
Brooklyn nights is going to be at Barclays.
Yeah.
So shout out to that.
That's what made it so egregious, me going to jail in all of those cities, because you got to remember, like, I'm bringing $1 million worth of revenue to each of these cities. Every time I go there, like, I'm never there on no fuck shit. I'm never like, I'm only helping. I'm only there to do, like, you don't you can't, as a society, be trying to fuck that nigga over. Like, there's no reason. Like, so I'm just grateful now to have the relationships still have went through all of that without, the people that do business with me love the fact that we never lose. Like, the thing about the 60 movies and the 50 television appearances and the 13 specials, the thing about all of that is not that it's independent, it's that there are no flops. Like, I never even been associated with a flop in my life. There was no movie that didn't make what it was supposed to make when I was in it. There was no TV show that didn't do well because I was on it. Like, I've never had an unsuccessful special. Like, I'm not on these YouTube things. You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, these niggas got 3 million followers. Like, no. My followers follow me to the arena and get dressed up and sit in the seats and pay money. Like, we are not the same. Like, I'm doing 3 million tickets for 23 times. You see what I'm saying? Like, nah.
I seen you at the Barclays, bro. You had that shit packed out. Those lady in the front with the New Year's
That's
glasses.
a magnificent venue. Right.
She was up there bugging.
Right.
She had more the New Year's glasses from the year before.
No, you don't understand. Yeah.
Blinging off in the third row.
Right,
Crazy.
because if you come every time Katt come through, you understand, like,
it's nostalgic too, man.
I'm only doing what's best for the fans. Like, everybody gonna be funny. Everybody not gonna sound alike. We ain't gonna all be talking about the same shit. Everybody from all across the country. You follow what I'm saying? Like, it's just a good time and a good experience. So that's why it's called Heaven on Earth. And that's why we bring it around to the great places. And, Brooklyn is one of those.
Who you got? Is it a rotating cast of openers, or is it the same openers for every city?
Look, I was only saying that term openers, but these people are far better than that. Like, you know what I mean. You got to understand in current form. Just understand that you're only coming to a show to see Katt Williams. That's the only name that's on there. And imagine you get there and find out that this is Monique and Red Grant and Mark Curry and Tommy Davis and Melody Camacho. And wait a minute, hold on. And there was 4 comics before them and they were great. Like, are you kidding? You had that experience? Yeah. Well, if that's the way it always goes with his shows, that's why you coming.
And that's why you pay that ticket.
It's because my people gonna shine because they didn't have to sell none of these tickets. They don't have to go out there like did anybody come see me? No, it's going to be packed when you get out there. Yeah. You're going to be able to look your best and do your best. You follow what I'm saying? In front of who? The best people in the city. They all here. And it keeps happening. And so,
Did you always know that? Or did you or was that something you figured out touring? Not blasting the who's going to be in the act with you. And just giving people that experience, like that surprise, right? Because when you got good comics, you got a strong lineup. That's, like you said, that's worth the price of admission.
But I feel like Monique promotes that, she's on tour with you, and like some of the other comics.
The tour was already sold before we got Monique.
But I mean, like social media, like they'll post like, "Hey, we're gonna be on the card with you." So even though you're not saying, "Hey, come to St. Louis," like the folks that you bring along with you, they kind of spread the gospel for you.
You talking about legends in the game? They legends in the game.
No, because we're switching this up every time, so it can't really be that. It's not that. It's bigger than that. It's not about that. It's about you can guarantee yourself that Katt Williams gave thought to you that bought that ticket, and he is going to make sure that he is going to give you the best of the best that he can bring you of comedians from all over the country, that he's already vetted this, filtered this. These are the top, and you're going to have a great time guaranteed before he even comes on stage. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, other comics can't afford to do that because where are these people's checks coming from? You would have to be making enough money as the headliner. You would have to be like on an 85-15 split with the arena in order to even be making enough money to pay 8 other checks. You mean out of yours? Because how are they getting paid? That's why we don't allow anybody to act like they're selling any tickets.
Okay.
Because you don't need to.
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
The operation
Right,
is self-sufficient. He's a man of the people, and the people guarantee. You see?
And the man of the people is going to do the #1 segment on the #1 show in America. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time, baby. It's time for Katt Williams
He finally made it.
to do fuck with it or fuck out of here, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Listen,
Fuck with it
Katt,
or fuck out of here. Which one is it? Okay.
You know what this is about, Katt? This is something going on in pop culture in the world,
Okay,
you know what I'm
fair
saying, the
enough.
news, etc.
Yeah.
And you tell us if you fucking with it,
Yeah.
yes, I fuck with this is cool. Or if it's a fuck out of here, no, Katt does not fuck with this shit at all. Get it out of here. You know what I'm saying? First up, we got you made bold claims that you're the reason for Steph Curry's greatness.
I fuck with this nigga.
That's Jim.
I fuck with this nigga.
That's Jim right there, though.
You gotta elaborate on that.
I can't be making this like.
That's
I
crazy.
taught Javale Mcgee how to play basketball. That's why he can't play good above the rim, because I couldn't show him. I couldn't show him nothing. When I taught him, he was 5'5", just like me. He was like 12, and I taught he had never played basketball another way. And I showed him how to play. That's why he could play little man ball, being that big, and he always run full speed all the way down. Yeah, and he was doing all that with asthma.
He be out here. He said he did all that with asthma. Yo, come on. Yo, so here's the thing. Here's the question.
He be dead ass though. No, I'm like,
He got 2 rings, y'all. He got 2 rings. What we talking?
I gotta cross-reference this. I gotta cross-reference this. Like, all right, so Steph was in Davis. When this happened? Like, what speed?
No, he had just got out. This is happening in Los Angeles.
Okay, so
I'm saying,
how, like, what year was this? Like, you said
this is like 3 years in a row before. So I'm not. I'm saying.
Before he came in the league.
I'm saying this is in the Valley of Los Angeles.
Okay.
This is for the Department of Children and Family Services. Like, this is not something that can't be referenced. Like,
Okay.
you had to have celebrities playing. It's a celebrity basketball
That's what
game,
the hospitals
right?
and the charities always had.
I'm the one doing it. It's my so I'm saying no. His father was already a great shooter. Like, I didn't go to college. He knew how to play basketball.
Yeah.
I'm saying I was explaining to him that the way that I play basketball is there's no such thing as I'm not open. Nigga, I'm always open. I'm going to all 5 spots every time. If you notice, that's how Steph play.
Yeah.
Because if you play like that, you are always open. So if I'm always open, I can always get my shot off.
Right.
You see what I'm
Object
saying?
of the game is create space.
The little hip shot.
So I'm saying he was literally already the greatest. Like, this dude literally... Like, understand, now we count him, but I'm saying this dude is doing he's doing everything 29 feet and out, and I'm watching it with my eyes.
No, he was that. Steph was that.
You see what I'm saying?
He broke basketball, man.
Yeah, he
broke
did.
basketball.
They
with that,
added a full point line for Steph. They thinking about adding a full point line.
You feel me? So here's the question. Fuck with it or fuck out of here. Katt Williams altering the course of NBA history.
I mean, I gotta fuck with it. I mean, like, once Steph started shooting from 30 feet out on a regular, like, it broke basketball. Like, so, and if he's saying he's the one who told him to do that,
but look,
I gotta fuck with it.
There's nothing not to fuck with. Like, understand. I only told him a truth at a pivotal part in his life.
So
like, I've had that experience with many people, because I told you what my job is with God's people. So it doesn't matter if it's Like, I knew Kendrick Lamar when he wanted to go by his real name. He wanted to be Kendrick Duckworth. And he had a book bag full of notepads that he would carry around.
Composition books.
And he loved me because I also had the notebooks as well with my stuff in them as well. And we were kindred spirits. This is when Nipsey is still selling mixtapes right outside of the little studio we at. You see what I'm saying? I'm in a blue drop top Phantom Den. Like, I'm a part of the culture, good or bad. Like, there's no claims for me to get. I don't need props for my involvement. Right. But if there are stories, all of them will be of me assisting in some way and offering some service. I'm never holding balls. I'm never dick eating. I'm never glazing. I don't need to yes man you. I'm trying to help in all interactions. So
PTO, you know what I'm saying? Speaking of Kendrick Lamar, he received the standing ovation and an encore chant earlier this month in T-Dot in Toronto. You know what I'm saying? On his GNX tour date. His 2024 run is going to be remembered by a lot of people as, you know what I'm saying, like the summer that he absolutely destroyed Drake. You know what I'm saying? And
talk about a lot of the stuff he was talking about that goes on in the industry.
Right. Exposing a lot of what's going on in the industry.
Well, he's been one of the top 3 greatest rappers from his very first project, which is almost unheard of. So I'm saying.
Was that a Section 8?
Yeah. Like,
they Kendrick spirits, man.
Yeah. This is in Drake land.
Shout out Katt.
Getting the one more time to sing about how I'm a pedophile in my hometown is crazy, bro. That's crazy. But I feel like a lot of folks that are fans of Kendrick are fans of yours, right? Like, you guys occupy a lot of the same space within culture, and
that's why I said I'm not somebody you want to have beef with. It's bad optics. Like, I'm on the righteous side, and if I make a mistake, work with me. But other than that, you have no reason to be, because we all are. Just understand what Kendrick has to be to even be doing the show there. We're not talking about Drake doing his show in LA. We are not talking about him in the Bay. We're not talking about that. But we are talking about Kendrick going there and doing the body of work. That's what it means to stand on them 10. That means standing on that business. I said what I said over here, and I'll be saying it over there as well. And that's what's so critical about me trying to make sure that I say it as viciously as I mean to say it as accurately as I can say it, because I'm gonna still have to be saying, you see what I'm saying? This is part of keeping that energy. And so you gotta respect it.
So just on the opposite side of that, right? Some people can see that. Some people can see the way Kendrick approached the Drake beef as I'm not agreeing with this, but tapping into your inner hater. Like, tapping into being like, yo, you know, and in Euphoria, like Kendrick said, you know,
those are people that
I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way you walk. I hate the way you talk. I hate the way you dress. Like,
no, that's not really.
That's not hate though.
Yeah, but he was very specific so that you understand that this not hatred. It's a double entendre he's giving you. He's saying I don't hate you.
Right.
I just hate all of the choices that you make, because those are the choices that bitch ass niggas make. That's all. So I'm saying I'm in the position where I'm a fan of both artists, right? So I don't pretend like I wasn't fucking with Drake before it happened. But I don't give a fuck who it is. I would tell anybody that's gonna fight a bear, I'm not gonna see you again. You can't beat the bear. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to say those kind of conversations because I'm a bear. You see? So, Kendrick is not who you wanted to tussle with. It didn't matter who you were. We just felt like, because it was Drake, that he would get that exemption. But not only is he going to not get the exemption, he going to be brought under more scrutiny. And when K-Dot pulled his cover and say that you just used the culture when you needed it, nobody gonna pop up and disregard that and say differently. And the people that's quiet while you getting beat to death out there, the Carter 6 gonna be trash too. So thank God I'm putting my album out. As above, so below. It'll be coming, folks. Check it out. But anywho, my point is, like, in warfare, there are casualties on both sides. That's why you need a peace God. Because in war, don't nobody win. Everybody takes heavy losses in all of these situations, you know? So
the fuck
shout out to Kendrick.
Are Kendrick Lamar and Katt Williams kindred spirits?
I would hope so. I'm saying that's why he's saying make Katt Williams and them proud. The truth about to get loud. Like, understand, I ain't nobody, but I got a rank on our side though. They like the ops know and the people on this side know. Who else needs to know? Like if you see people saluting me, just understand there's probably a reason, and it's not so I can look good, or, you know what I'm saying? Any of these generosity stories, these stories ain't coming from me. I don't remember how many people I'm helping. Like, my job is to do as much as I can with what I've been given. But anyway, let's go. Fuck out of here.
A couple of weeks ago during the BET Awards, Jamie Foxx was presented with the Ultimate Icon Award. And was presented the award by Stevie Wonder. Jamie joked about Stevie in front of his face to a packed house for the BET Awards. So all right, so fuck out of here. Cutting ass on Stevie Wonder to his face.
I love it.
I gotta go first because there's a problem.
Oh my God.
Let's not disregard the audacity of saying in front of a blind person's face. What the fuck does that mean? If they blind, do they know you in their face, motherfuckers? Like, what are you talking about? Like he did it in his face. Okay, so first of all, sorry about that answer. Delete that, I apologize. No, but if you know Stevie, everybody that's been around Stevie Wonder knows that Stevie Wonder is a fun, loving person. All he wants is those experiences to be able to laugh and be, you see what I'm saying? So he loves that, and Jamie is rightfully getting the Ultimate Icon Award, and he's a professional comedian, and we know him for being instantly funny, and so, you know, that brings out both of those. So I definitely fuck with all parts of that.
You know I fuck with anything with Stevie, champ. Stevie stories. You know, we got Stevie stories.
Remember when Stevie, you remember when he had the hair just right there? Like, the whole thing was, I had a conversation with him, and the nigga knew. And that's what I knew. Like, that's what made it the best. Because in my head, I'm thinking, like, he don't fucking know that it's like this.
He knew that you said
I'm gonna pull him to the side and say something to him, right? Like, he's super funny. Like, he's the person that tells jokes like Stevie Wonder come in and be like, Stevie, how you get here? Where your driver? He like, oh, I drove. Right. Like, I'm blind, but I can drive short distances. Like he really, you can catch Stevie drive. Like, it's like crazy stories if you really know him. So yeah, I'm with it.
Do you have a Stevie story?
I talk too much. No, moving on.
That's Stevie, man.
I'm talking about one of them joke stories though. Shit. Not no crazy shit, but like a Stevie.
No,
y'all gonna leave my man Stevie alone.
I guess I do. Damn,
I know Melo told a story early in the season where, you know, Stevie came up to him and he's like, yo, I love watching you play.
Okay, I am going to hit a little funny story. Okay. All right, let's try to do this in 30 seconds. Here it goes. So, Stevie Wonder had this house party. So, I get invited with these nice young ladies who's going with me to this party. And the whole time I'm like, how is we even gonna know if this really Stevie Wonder's damn house? Like, this probably ain't even his house. We get there, it's probably like on 6 acres. It's huge. It's on the corner. All the grass is dead. So it's $1 million worth of outdoor furniture. The shit is landscaped perfectly. but it's summertime. Everybody grass green. This nigga, all his yard crispy brown. I said, this nigga probably like it like that. I know this is his house. He wanna feel the grass crumble.
Brown with the grass is crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. All right,
man.
I talk too much. I'm not doing no more interviews after this. This is the last one.
Yo, man, listen, on that note, we sounded out. Hey, Katt. Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother, man.
Thank you.
Always,
Likewise,
man.
bro.
man.
You're the greatest.
Facts.
Appreciate you, legend. Thank you.
You have a hell of a spirit about you,
Thank
man.
you.
You always been a stand-up guy to me, to us, to our culture, man.
Facts.
Thank you.
And despite what anybody says out there, you are.
Fuck him.
Despite the word of these bums.
You are very, intricate and pivotal into not just the comedian culture, but just our culture as a whole. So I want to say thank you for that, man. And
Yeah.
And don't forget the support that Heaven on Earth tour, man.
Yeah, and in the name of peace, let me just say it on this platform that now that I look at how my words have hurt Lil Rel, I can't, it's hard for me to apologize when I do things on purpose. Like I meant to hurt him. Like you feel what I'm saying? Like I meant to do the things that I did. But I in the sake of mental health, I'm not a better person for picking on somebody with, mental health challenges and making them feel less about themselves and calling them ugly and making them lose 130 pounds nobody needed him to do. And, if I'd have known that I was causing damage like that, no, I wouldn't have. So I just wanted to put that out in the name of the peace God. And now everybody can be good.
We solid. All right, we got one. We got one out of peace. We got one out of peace.
Yo, listen, you know what it is, man. It's the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, live from the hood, baby.
Man.
Me and Jamie Foxx are getting ready to do a movie together.
Ooh, talk to him.
And I got something that's even bigger than that. So I am making amends and peace and following the peace God in other ways that I'm not talking about yet, but you'll see in the next
can't wait to see
few
it.
days.
First,
Can't wait to see it.
it's 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, baby.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So Wave Originals presented by FanDuel. You know what time it is, baby. It's your boy, Kid Mero. The Human Direct Flap signing off is the Peace God in the building, Carmelo Anthony, Big Kaz in the building, and of course, the legend, Katt Williams, y'all. Stay tuned, you know what I mean? Subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shit, podcast, wherever you get them at. Like, subscribe, you know what I'm saying? Comment, Katt sneaker game is crazy, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Do it, you know what I'm saying?
Organs.
And you already know, man, we ain't finding peace, we practice peace.
Yes, sir.
So with that being said, peace.